week, our master category section is the time of the show where we get to talk about the tokens we drew the week before. And last week, we had our good friend Josh Ariza on the show. If you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it. It is live from Creative South at the table.
It's flat.
I was disappointed that his
Patrick
Well, I
talked
didn't hear
right
his
over
whole
the
talk. No, that's what you do. I didn't hear his whole talk. But the
Okay.
part I didn't hear, the part I did hear, not the part I didn't hear,
But the part I didn't
mention
hear-
diarrhea very much. And I was disappointed because we talked about it in our episode. It didn't seem to carry over.
Yeah, that was a joke.
I know, but I was like, man, what a cool point of view. Like, I was really pumped for that talk. And as soon as I realized we weren't getting diarrhea in the talk, I left.
Oh, yeah, that sounds logical and reasonable.
Yeah, it sounds just more like a dick move.
All right, so Josh picked our tokens for us. Again, go back and listen to that episode. We'll just say it this way. That episode starts with the connection that air horns are the strobe lights of sound. And it goes on from there. So if that sounds appealing to you, it was just ridiculous and so much fun. He's like one of my favorite people in the world.
He's a good one.
Because he's super talented. He's super he has a ton of skill. He's very successful. He's like ultra good looking. He rocks that jean jacket like a freaking champ, and he's just such a nice guy. So he's completely unassuming.
Are you calling his body a jean jacket because like DNA jeans, like the jacket that his jeans are in?
Yeah, all of that.
I had to find a picture of him for the website to put together like the artist bio on like the archive page or whatever. And I was purposely trying to find a picture where he looks stupid, and they don't exist.
No, they do.
Even when he's doing something stupid, he's like the most perfect version of someone doing that.
No,
it's
I agree
Barney.
with that. I agree with that. But I do have this photo of him, which is arguably my favorite.
I almost asked for that photo, but I didn't know how appropriate it was.
We should have used that photo. Wait
Here you
for
go,
it.
YouTube crowd. If you're watching, if you're listening the audio only, you have to pull up the video just to see this photo.
Send it to me and I'll put it in.
Okay, I will. I'll send you that. Anyway, he picked our tokens for us. That was the whole setup to that.
Okay.
And Luke, you got
TV and film.
Yeah, tell us about the film.
All
series.
right. So I had mentioned that it was a lot of sick and working this week. But I did get to start a new show on Netflix. I got to start the show Loaded. It's a TV series. Have either one of you heard of it?
No.
Okay, so
no.
It's a British show adapted from a Israeli comedy, but AMC bought it and aired it here in June of last year, and it's on Netflix now. So the story of the show.
Interesting.
The story of the show is it's these four guys who are tech entrepreneurs. They make this app and become millionaires, multimillionaires. And
yeah. Silicon Valley.
Nope, it's different.
I have seen Silicon Valley.
Okay, cool. It's not that.
Silicon Valley's been doing that for like 3 seasons.
Different.
Now.
It's different. Slightly different. But yeah, it's only 8 episodes, and I'm on like episode 3. And so far, it's pretty funny. It's, I don't know, it's 4 guys like just getting into situations, and funny things happen, and I like it, and I laugh. And that's about it. It has nobody that I recognize. Well, that's not true. There is one person I recognize, Mary McCormick. She plays like their boss. She works for the company that bought them. And you know her as Kate from West Wing, and she was like in Deep Impact and a couple other movies. You've seen her before.
So wait, I'm sorry. Is this a British show that is re-airing, or is this a remake of a British show, but it's an American version?
It is a British show airing on American television.
Okay. So the style of humor, is it like
British
IT Crowd style of humor?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Is IT Crowd a British show?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Did you ever watch that show?
I don't like it. No.
Okay.
The show's, that show I hugely recommend.
Yeah, the show's great.
But also I just think Richard Ayoade he can do no wrong. But it's like that because it's how do I say this? IT crowd is a punny is not the right word,
right?
But
it's not as silly. It's not silly. It's not as silly as IT crowd, but it does have. That's not real. It does have more of that humor that doesn't quite translate over.
Does it have the cringy nature of the British version of The Office?
No.
Okay.
I love this.
What's happening?
I'm dying.
What's happening?
He's sick, man.
Actively dying.
It's cold.
I don't want. He's being bungholed.
Con cold. That's what it's called.
It's actually called the con flu, is what it's called. But I'm not throwing up, so
con cold.
But it's called the con flu. But that's it. On a lighter note, Patrick, why don't you tell us something?
On a lighter note than you being sick?
Yep.
I'm sick.
And now, on a lighter note.
All right, so I'm going to talk about the IKEA Art Event 2018. So this kind of was lucky on our part. So the idea is that IKEA is doing a limited run of these...
IKEA.
Say it again?
IKEA.
Yeah, when I kept typing it into my show notes, it kept trying to tell me what I was trying to say.
So what IKEA is doing for 2018 is that they got 8 different what they consider contemporary artists, and these are artists that work with games and like comics and toys. I'm about to name a couple of the artists, and you'll understand it. But they're letting them lend their style to a crystal glass figurine. So they're basically trying to mash up these two things that you wouldn't consider together or you wouldn't put together normally.
Right.
And so it's this like Swedish art glass, hence the IKEA tie-in. And so they had 8 artists do this, and this released in April. And you can only buy these figures in store. So again, there's 8 available, one from each of these artists. And it just so happens that we were all traveling together for Creative South. We had to go through Atlanta. There's an IKEA in Atlanta. And since it just released the week before, we decided to stop in and see if we were lucky enough to snag a piece. And wouldn't you know it, they still had pieces left. So
they did.
I picked up 2 pieces. Andrew, you picked up 2 pieces. And so let me just go ahead and show off the 2 I picked up. So first, as far as the artists involved, and you know what? I think since there's only 8, that I can probably tell you all of their names. I can probably go that far. So first, let me tell you a couple of the ones I didn't get. There's a piece by James Jarvis that's like a peace sign that's in, again, this like crystal, this glass. There's Ludwig Lofgren, and it's like an eye. And that piece, I would say, is maybe more of what I would expect from this medium, if you remember it, Andrew. The third person is...
I don't remember it.
It's a clear eye with a blue eyeball.
Okay, I do remember that. I was so excited to actually find it that I honestly... This is going to sound weird or hyperbole. It's really not. Like I honestly got tunnel vision, and I got so focused. All I wanted was Ledbetter. That was it.
Yeah.
And
you guys were both focused on just finding the boxes.
Yeah. And when that happened, I wasn't paying attention to anything else. I was just happy to have it. I had it in my hand and then instantly started thinking, how am I going to get this on the plane?
Because it's not light.
No, it's glass, right? So
this whole trip started with you saying your suitcase was at 50 pounds on the dot, and then you picked up 2 blown glass figures. The third artist, Junko Mizuno, in this shape, I don't know how to explain it exactly. It's based on a vintage figurine, and from the early 60s or 70s, that's kind of like the style it's supposed to be, and it's all this like slight blue tint to it, but it does have a little like gold overlay just on the face area. It looks like a female figurine.
That one was really cool. I do like that one.
Yes, absolutely. This one I don't remember seeing. This is Michael Lau, and it just looks like almost like a ghost. It looks kind of like someone draped a sheet over them, and so it's kind of got that.
Oh, that was there. That was there for sure.
Yeah.
Man. So that's apparently where I had tunnel vision because I totally missed it. And then Nathan, I always say this name wrong, and I've had several pieces by him. I had 2 flocked owls, Kid Robot figures by him, but Juravicious. And so again, it's one of his owl figures, similar to the Kid Robot 3-inch that were available. And
feels
I
a
think
lot
the
like
idea was like they reached out to these artists,
Right.
like we already said, Joe Ledbetter. I think they reached out to these artists and said, do your quintessential, do the thing that you are famous for, but do it in glass for us.
Right.
Yeah. And then this last one, Archive of Vilmansa, this is not someone I've heard of. Probably just butchered the name. But this one is like a, how do I say it? It looks almost kind of like it would be the top of like a jellyfish or something like that.
It looks like
the
a melted
colors-
like mushroom from Mario.
So I was going to say the colors look like a mushroom from Mario. So that's 6 of them. So the other 2 artists you're going to be more familiar with probably because we've talked about them a lot more on the show, and that's Course and then Ledbetter. So I'll show the Course piece first. These are the 2 I actually have. I can show them on camera. So this is a great time to watch on YouTube. So this is the Course piece right here. Let me see if you guys can see this. Okay. There you go. So the idea behind this piece, and if you go on the website, on Kia's website, even though you can't buy them online, they list them online, and they have a note from each one of the artists about the inspiration behind the piece. But the idea behind this piece was that foxes they're sneaky and they're, they can attack and things like that. But this is supposed to be the kind of outcast opposite. This is the gentle, calm fox that wouldn't, do anything or fight anybody, the kind of sitting off to the side. And so this is from the duo at Course. Again, it's a kind of a fox curled up, almost like you'd imagine the Firefox logo, except not laying flat. And it's blue, and the blue it looks like it's heavier at the bottom, so it has this nice little fade to it. So that's that piece. The second piece, and this is going to be, for me, it feels the most iconic only because I've been looking at Ledbetter stuff more often. But the second piece is this bunny by Ledbetter. So again, if you're familiar with Ledbetter, you're familiar with this shape. This is the. I'm going to tell you his words because I don't want to say it wrong. Let's see. So this is the sculpt that he says put him on the map as a designer, and so because of that, he wanted to go with this sculpt for his glass piece. Now, one thing I thought was interesting is the way they described Ledbetter, because they described his works as really highlighting or illustrating the human condition. And I thought that was really interesting because a lot of his works are like bunnies with bones sticking out or with like swords or chainsaws. It's like this mismatch of this like nice, happy, positive character mixed with something. It's like with a twist of like dark or creepy might be too strong of a word. So I just thought it was funny that their description was him illustrating the human condition, which to me that would mean that he illustrates things that are twisted. So
yeah, that's an interesting. Luke, would you have ever? You've been a Ledbetter follower longer than we have.
Sure. I mean, Joe has always said in interviews that he likes to take things and play with, like, putting those characters in real life situations, and if they seem dangerous, it's okay because they're cartoons. So I can see maybe that's the translation of human condition. He does more stuff that's not related to like the Chaos series too. Could be some of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I would use those words. Like I don't think I would have come up with that phrasing to talk about his work, but I can maybe see a little bit of a correlation there.
So anyway, those are the pieces that was pretty in depth, but these are you have to buy them in person. They're at major IKEAs. Each one is $29.99. I mean, that's what they cost a piece. And so if you can find them, you need to go now, because when we were there, assuming they had everything out on the shelves, they probably only had something like 20% of their stock left. If that. And so, I mean, we were pulling off like the back of the bottom shelf. That's where we were pulling these from. And again, they are limited edition. On all the material, it says limited edition. I don't know what the runs are because I haven't seen where they've published the runs, or I've just overlooked it. But the point is, if you want one of these pieces and an IKEA is near you, you need to go ahead and get out to an IKEA to pick one up. The other thing is, if you aren't near an IKEA, right now they're selling online for somewhere between like 60 to 70 a piece. So you probably pick one up that way. But again, they are still in stock. Once they're not in stock anymore and they start settling with the people that want them, I imagine the price might go up a little bit. But again, I don't know the actual quantity. But very, very cool pieces. I just like them because I can keep them out in like the other parts of my house, and Mackenzie's okay with it. It's fine with her other decor. They
look great together.
More grown up. So
those two specific ones look great together.
See,
the colors look.
I would never place them together in my house.
That's funny.
Yeah,
but like the colors work so well together.
They do.
I mean,
but I think they would look. I don't know. I think they can each stand on their own as a piece. So that's why I put them in separate places so that you get more.
You just book out of them.
Sure.
All right. But they are heavy. I think that's like these things. You could murder someone with this. That's my metric for if something's heavy or not.
Cool.
Is if I think.
Listen, I can murder somebody with a knife and it's way lighter.
That's true.
But I'm saying, given how YouTube audience just got to see your form.
I just knifed our YouTube audience.
Can you imagine if, like, tomorrow you wake up, cops are outside. So I didn't know this. Josh Ariza had someone die outside of his office. This happened like 2 years ago. I was reading his blog today, or yesterday when I was doing the post, and I came across it. We have to ask him about it next time we talk to him. But Andrew, tomorrow, if one of your neighbors comes up dead and they were stabbed like 40 times, just because of this recording, you're a primary suspect.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Yeah. I stand by that.
I wouldn't have said that. This is an active investigation.
Listen, if they're stabbed, if the way that they were stabbed and the way they determined they were stabbed was by a 5'11" man holding his arm straight up from his own chest and just going straight at him, then honestly, I may have sleep killed somebody because that's how I would do it.
And Patrick, the same thing though. If those guys that keep smoking outside in the hallway wind up bludgeoned to death, you're on the hook.
Especially if it is shaped like a bunny.
Right.
Like if there's like a imprint on the face that is like
Tell me that doesn't.
I don't know what profile this is.
Tell me that doesn't make you want to eat a large gummy bunny.
Oh my gosh! I've already tried to eat this 3 times.
You're an idiot. All right, so I have toys and games, and I backed a game on Kickstarter. It is no longer available. It will become available again once the game comes out, and they do all this stuff. So I don't have the game yet, but I do want to talk about it because I just got an update today from for the backers. It's a game called Chronicles of Crime. And Chronicles of Crime is a cooperative game of criminal investigation that mixes board game and an app, like an actual technology app, with a touch of virtual reality to it.
Yeah.
They say this: you and your team will put on crime glasses, moving all around town, interviewing suspects or witnesses, and searching for clues in 3D scenes. So there's an actual physical board, and there are storylines that go along with it. And honestly, the thing that I think about is the Office episode where they're trying to keep everybody distracted because everything might go bankrupt, and so they play that murder mystery game.
Right.
In Savannah, it reminds me a lot of that in terms of how the scenarios go. There are currently 9 unlocked scenarios that are coming out with the game if you backed the game and did like their biggest backing, each character can be used in multiple scenarios because each character has a QR code. Mm-hmm. And you scan the QR code when you're telling the story, when you're going through the story, and depending on what storyline you're going through, it gives you different clues, different setups, different things that those characters are saying.
Right.
But it's still all a total board game. So you have actual character cards, you have a map on your board, you have clue cards, you have various things, but everything has a scannable QR code, and they give you these VR glasses that are specific to the game that you put over. There's not like a full headset. It just kind of covers just a spot for your eyes to be able to look through your phone and look at their scene and see the crime scene in 3D. And so you're looking through and trying to discover things.
That's very cool.
I'm like way excited. If you go to Kickstarter.com and just search this game, even though you can't back it right now, go take a look at it. It is beautiful. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm trying to scroll through. Here's a couple of the different scenarios. The White Collar in red, Devil's Kitchen, Vampire in the Fog, community-driven scenario. Nope. That's a descriptor.
Internet connectivity problems.
404 error. I'm red. Like, that actually embarrassed me because I'm a stupid idiot. All right.
Only for our YouTube crowd.
Welcome to Redview. Welcome to Redview comes with like an actual ambient music that plays throughout the whole game because it takes place in like an arcade, and so you're hearing sounds and things. Noir, and those are the ones I think I can see right now. But so Noir, the character cards that they show on the Kickstarter page. They were my least favorite looking characters, even though Noir would be like one of my favorite genres of this style of kind of mystery solving, clue solving games. But here's what's awesome. They sent a backer update today. And in the backer update, they said, hey, we saw some of your, requests or your feelings
feedback
about the game.
Yeah,
your feedback. And so are you guys looking at it right now?
Huh?
I'm going to be honest. I got distracted by Dinosaur Island.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm going to talk about Dinosaur Island too. So go look at this game real quick because I want you to see what it was. So scroll down the page until you see the scenarios. It's underneath all of the unlocks and everything.
You're gonna have to tell me. I'm gonna be honest. You have to tell me the name again.
Son of a bee!
I got so distracted by the colors of dinosaur.
It's called Chronicles of Crime.
Oh yeah, you said that.
You should really listen to our podcast, Patrick.
Have you seen the colors on this other game?
It's becoming fairly popular.
Okay, I'm looking at Chronicles of Crime.
I spelled crime CHRIME.
That's not right.
Nope.
All right, so scroll
I'm trying
down.
to find I'm under community-driven scenario.
Okay, do you see Noir?
I'm looking for... Yes, I see Noir.
Okay, do you see Noir, Luke?
I do.
Okay, so you see those characters.
Yeah.
Yes.
The artwork is not terribly great.
Yeah.
Okay, look at the...
They hired a new...
They hired a new artist. Here's the new artwork.
Well, that looks better.
Focus, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
That guy looks like Rhett Butler. He's like straight up.
Do you know who the artist is?
No, so I reached out. So, sorry, I should show this to the YouTube
Wait, is
crowd.
that the head of, what's it called, Planet, the newspaper?
Yeah, it's J. Jonah Jameson. My camera is a little too bright to pick up the tones of that, but it's beautiful. I want to reach out to the artist and have him paint us because it's so stylized and so cool.
Great, yeah.
Everybody else is confused a little bit.
Why?
I don't know. It sounds like a weird thing to say.
Why?
I'll say it again.
What? I don't know what I said that's confusing.
I want to have the artist paint us.
That's pretty straightforward. Everyone who listens to the show, most of the people who listen to the show know that we have characters made of ourselves from different artists.
Okay.
At this point in the game. I mean, if this were like episode 50, maybe people wouldn't know that, but we've had 3 different versions of ourselves on the internet for the last 4 years.
By episode 300, they'll for sure know that.
They will for sure know that. Which, by the way, episode 300 is coming up in 3 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
We should do something special because that's like 100 episodes per person.
Per person. I know that I wasn't on about 100 of them, so
I know that you haven't. Never mind. All right, so
listen to at least 300 of them.
Yeah. Anyway, Chronicles of Crime. I'm really excited to play it. It's one of those games that I backed and I forgot about it. And then I got the update and got really excited because I remember thinking Noir looks like a lot of fun, but the artwork isn't my favorite. And it's put out by Lucky Duck Games. And they were listening to the feedback of the backers, and whoever the old artist was for that, I'm sorry, buddy. Looks like you got fired. But whoever the new artist is, hooray for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of your work put out there.
They literally ran out of stretch goals.
They did. They made they raised $795,000 to back this game. Outdone only by the game that Patrick was so enamored by that he could not wait to look at it. It's Miami Vice, the board game.
It's dinosaurs.
It's Dinosaur Island. Totally. Oh crap! What's the word? Totally something.
No, back from extinction.
No. Maybe.
It says Totally Liquid.
Totally Liquid. That's what it is.
But then the title above it says Back from Extinction. They've raised $1.78 million.
Yes. And it's by the time you listen to this, it'll be done. Sorry. It has like 24 hours left.
Why did I even go to college? All I had to do was make a board game. That
is all you have to do. But this game looks like so much fun too. The whole game is designed in like 80s style. Like it's straight out of the 80s. But it just looks like a lot of fun. I don't have time to go into the whole breakdown of it. Maybe we'll get it and we can review the game later. But it's highly, highly reviewed. It's a newer version of a game that's already out called Dinosaur Island. This has some updates to it. And then it comes with a new setup, which is Dualosaur Island, which is just a 2-player competitive mode that you can do. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But that's, if you were wondering why Patrick was so distracted, go look up Dinosaur Island, Back from Extinction. Totally Liquid. All right, that's it for my category. That means that's it for the categories, which means that's it for the episode.
Andrew, can I borrow $150?
Yes.
It's unrelated to anything we've talked about tonight.
And I'm going to need it transferred within the next 27 hours.
Yeah. I have a cocaine habit. Now that I'm playing Miami Vice Dinosaur Edition. Did you look at the artwork, Luke?
What?
Did you go look at the artwork for Dinosaur Island?
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm not interested in it, honestly.
I need a white blazer where the sleeves are 3/4 length.
Okay.
Length?
You trying to be Don Johnson?
The sleeves aren't 3/4 length. They would pull their sleeves up.
Oh. It's not like capri.
Andrew, you have to remember,
jacket.
he wasn't born in the 80s.
That's true.
I was born in the 80s. I wasn't
true.
born in the 70s with Luke, but I was born in the 80s.
I wasn't born in the 70s with Luke either.
Yeah, you barely missed that.
This episode was brought to you by Friendship.
You can find us Matt Kendraw said he feels like he's the oldest person in the community, and it was all I could do to not make a Luke age joke.
Hey, happy birthday to our friend Jared Mariyama, who turned an age that you would never believe. I texted him and was talking to him, and I could not believe it.
He's 55.
Could you? Yeah.
But his hair looks 17.
Yeah.
There you go, Jared.
Can I finish the outro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
You can. But I have to let you know first, my birthday's in 2 weeks. That's the reason this is so on my mind, is I'm about to be an age older.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, Patrick's going to be 31. So if you feel bad for him,
don't.
You can find us at mof1podcast.com, where you can find show notes and links to all the stuff we just talked about. If you're watching this on YouTube, just check the links below. There should be some fun photos that you've seen along the way, some videos you've seen along the way for this episode. Lots of stuff we've talked about for you to go purchase, spend your money. If you ever buy anything because you've listened to the show, let us know. We want to hear about it. We want to know that what we're doing is working. I don't know. It's not really, it's a measure. It's a gauge, I guess. But you can support the show at patreon.com/mof1podcast.
Well,
you can throw a couple dollars in there.
If people care about what we talk about.
That's true. Yeah. And if enough people care, then maybe the company will take notice.
Okay.
Yeah, this is true. You can also find us at M of One Podcast on all the different platforms. Go to our new Discord channel, which is at mofonepodcast.com/family to join the conversation in there. I think we're like bridging on 100 people from our original 300 person community have transferred over.
Yep.
There's some stragglers and maybe some people who have fallen off. So there are right now is the strongest 100 that we're ever going to have, because these are people who are eager and who are new to it, and there's conversations happening
people like
each and every
Barletta,
day.
People like Jared Mariama, people like Ryan Davis, people like Ross Pate, all kinds of people.
I love you, Ross.
I was hoping that you just started reading through a list, and I was just going to wait for you to go through all 93 or whatever.
We have 2 new patrons I should tell you about, because that's what I do. One of those is Bethany Heck. That's right.
She's great.
Can I pause?
Yeah, you can, absolutely.
I did an air horn into the microphone as if that mattered.
Yeah, it does.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so one is Bethany Heck. Bethany Heck is one of our newest Patreon members,
Bethany.
or our newest patrons. You'll know her from such hits as the Font Review Journal and Medium. She's an incredibly great designer. Yeah, and Microsoft. And go look her up. Search Bethany Heck.
She's done some things.
She's done at least something that you have used.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And better than you would have done it.
Yep.
The other person...
That's aggressive.
Well, yeah. Hey. Yeah. Mariana Kuntz. I almost...
You did it.
That is dangerous territory.
Walking a line. But she's
Freezing.
also one of our latest patrons as well.
Thank you.
I'll just use the name Mariana. I'll just stop there. But thank you to our 2 new patrons. If you support us on Patreon, then we will read your name on the show, and you'll feel better about yourself. Go on, Andrew.
Mariana, thank you. I did not know that. I'm learning this for the first time, and I'm excited.
Right.
That's all. You can find us all ever. Have I said everything already?
Yeah.
I think we did.
Yeah. M1
We'll just
Podcast. That's us.
We'll just move. We'll just keep going along. Subscribe, rate, review, like, share, post, follow. All of those things help us so much. So if you're saying, man, I'd love to contribute to the show, but I can't throw in a couple dollars each month, or hey, I would love to really help you guys, but I can't buy a shirt or I can't buy a hat or whatever. This is free, doesn't cost you anything, but just a little bit of time, and it helps us out so much. So just if you're listening to the show and you like what you hear and you haven't rated it and you haven't reviewed it, just take a few minutes to do that. That would help us out so much on Spotify, on iTunes, on Stitcher, on YouTube, all of those things. Just give us a like, and man, it would help us out a ton. I think for now, though, we're going to get out of this episode, right?
Yeah.
Nothing loose, sure. No loose ends. Cool. We're going to get out of here. I'm Andrew.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Luke.
Peace out.
Bye.
Hold on to your butts.